That's 6 consecutive wins for our Bluebirds, and they come back home after the crazy 4-game sweep of the Angels, and you're taking on a White Sox team that is depleted with injury and underperforming. Their pitching staff is great. Their starting pitching is really good, but offensively, they really haven't found themselves yet this season. Coming into the game at 500, I think 23-23, whereas the Blue Jays going into the game 27-20. All right, let's break this puppy down. Kevin Gausman got the start for the Blue Jays, and Lucas Giolito got the ball for the White Sox. And in the top of the first inning, Andrew Vaughn, it's a solo bomb. It was a splitter down, and he just golfed at it and got it out of the ballpark. And solo bomb, and they're up 1-0 at the top of the first inning. Bottom 2, Teoscar Hernandez. And this is how we know Teo's getting it. I said in the last video how he got a double, or no, it was a hard hit single and a walk because he came off the bench. And I'm like, he seems to be finding himself some more. He seems to be finding his timing again. And on this pitch, this is when I was like, okay, yeah, he's got it. Because in that bottom of the second inning, for his first at bat, he drills a ball to the right center gap, and it one bounce off the wall. It's a stand-up double for Teo. And I'm like, when Teo is going to the right center gap, you know he's feeling good. And you saw it today, and especially on that at bat. And who follows him? Alejandro Kirk. We talked about it in the last video, guys. This guy is red hot. I talked on the post-game live stream on the Blue Jays Center page. By the way, go check that out. That the guy is playing unbelievable. His numbers are fantastic. He's up near 300. After today, he's above 300. That OPS is nearing 800, especially after that 80 was it was hanging something. Either way, I think it was a changeup maybe, or a splitter, or whatever you want to call it, from Giolito. And he crushes it to left field, and it was a high booming drive. The question was he going to have the wings? And how many times have we had to say that in LA? However, you're not at Angel Stadium anymore. You are back at Rogers Center. And this one leaves the ballpark, goes into the bullpen, and the Blue Jays have taken a 2-1 lead. A great start for the Jays offensively. Getting the 2-run bomb off of Giolito, and you got the lead now 2-1. Good stuff. And it stays quiet there to the top of the 5th inning where Danny Mendick hits an RBI double. Reese McGuire comes in to score. Yep, that ugly face just rears its ugly head. Nothing against Reese, but it's a former Blue Jay, right? And then Andrew Vaughn hits an RBI single. Mendick scores. And this is tough to watch because Kevin Gausman's on the hill and giving up some big runs in that 5th inning. And just like that, the Jays are now down 3-2. However, bottom of the 5th inning, with Bo and George Springer at second and third with less than 2. Was it less than 2 out or 2 out? I think Vladdy got out, I believe. He struck out, and we'll talk about him in a little bit. Teoscar Hernandez hits the ball hard to the left center gap. Center fielder lays out for it, can make the play. George and Bo come in to score, and the Jays take the lead right back. It's 4-3. Great stuff for the boys, answering right after you give up a 2 spot and the lead. In that top of the 5th inning, you bounce back right in the bottom half, and you score at least 2 of your own to get the lead back 4-3. Couple batters late. Actually, no, I think it was the next batter. Alejandro Kirk at the plate, and he gets the ball up in the zone, and he drills it to the left center field gap, and this one is gone. A 2-homer day for Kirk, a 2-run homer day for Alejandro Kirk. And he was 3 for 4 in the game, had 2 bombs, and the Jays got a 6-3 lead. Oh, yeah. We're feeling good. Then we go to the top of the 6th inning. You're back up 6-3. Nice. You need to put some zeros up on the board. Trevor Richards come out, and these zeros that he got were the amount of innings that he pitched. He didn't get an out. So he went 0.0 innings pitched. Problem is, give a ton of hard contact. And this is wild because the last time we saw him against the Angels, he was throwing the nasty change-ups, and he was just, it was phenomenal in his last couple outings. Today, he couldn't get it out to save his life. And who gets the RBI double to kind of just scare us like crazy? Reese McGuire. And then in comes Gavin Sheets, and just like that, it's a 6-4 game, and they have second and third, nobody out. They end up getting the bases loaded, and nobody out. A little chopper on the infield. Chapman's only play, go to second base. 1 run comes in to score, and it's 6-5. So you have runners in the corners now with 1 out. It's going to be tricky here. But then a fly ball to left field from Yasmani Grandal, who was leading off for some reason, Gurriel backing up. There's going to be no play at the plate, right? So he gets the ball, fires it into second base. They tag him. He's out. And who's the one lackadaisical watching the play, jogging home, is Reese McGuire. And you know what happens when that guy gets thrown out sideways? By the way, shout out to Gurriel for the hose. And no one's going to give him credit, but Kevin Biggio for the short hop pick and the slap tag right on the foot. I can't remember, who was it that he got? I can't remember who it was that he got. Was it Mendick? No, it was a fielder's choice. Yeah, so it was Mendick, I believe. So somebody was out at second base. And Reese McGuire's just jogging home. And I think about 3/4 of the way there, because you can see it, the entire way he's jogging home until about 3/4 of the way to home plate, where he's like, oh God, turns his head and boogies home. Problem, it's too late. That run does not count. And the Jays are still up 6-5. And that's how it ends. Bullpen shuts it down. Simber, Garcia, Merriweather, and Romano shut the door. And the Jays win it 6-5 over the Chicago White Sox, have now won 6 straight games. They're now 28-20. And with the Red Sox losing to the Reds today, with the Rays losing to the Rangers today, the Jays are in sole possession of first place in the wild card spot. Whoopie-doo, doesn't matter. It's only May 31st. They end the month really strong. They end the month above 500, which is wild considering how bad they were in the month. But when you end off with 6 straight wins and you won, was it 3 series out of 4 and 1 was a split. So anyways, no matter what, they've just been playing phenomenal baseball. That's why it looks great, even though the start of the month was downright awful. A few things I wanted to bring up, though, before I go into the stats of the team. So I brought up the double play, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. We're going to get to the positive stuff, all the offense, the bullpen was great, all that stuff. Vladdy's been struggling, man. He's royally struggling. And tonight, striking out with guys on base, right? And we're not even talking a guy at first base or a guy at second with 2 out. No, we're talking guys on second and third with less than 2 out. And he's not making it happen. And I'm like, that's not Vladdy. He went 0 for 5 today with a strikeout. And his OPS now is below 800. It was 802 going into today, so definitely dropped below that. He's now hitting 249 on the season. And him personally left 6 men on base today. Twice, I believe, with second and third. And I'm like, that is not Vladdy. I don't know what's happened. But he is really struggling. And I'm watching everybody else, all the big guys who were struggling, they're now finding themselves and getting hot. Meanwhile, Vladdy's he's not right. He's not there. I don't know if it's timing, if it's in his head. I don't know if he's just trying to crush the ball. I don't know what it is. But Vladdy is struggling. And he's got to find a way to get out of it. He will. He's a damn good hitter. He will find a way. We've learned to this point, when this guy struggles, he'll find a way to get out of it. If you start doubting the guy, you're nuts. You're nuts. He will find a way to figure it out, but I just wanted to bring those numbers up because that's not Vladdy-esque, big time. Let's get to the positives, though, because there's lots of them. George Springer, 2 for 5 in the game with the runs scored. Just steady Johnny on the spot there in the leadoff spot. Bo Bichette's really starting to get hot. He's starting to go. He had a good Angels series. He started this series great. 2 for 4 in the game. I believe he had a couple doubles as well. A run scored, walked once as well. He's got on base 3 of the 5 times that he came to the dish. And then Teoscar Hernandez, we talked about it earlier, how he is starting to find his swing again. He was 2 for 4 in the game, scored 2 runs, both on Alejandro Kirk bombs, and 2 RBIs in the game. So a hell of a job for Teo. And the man of the, I want to say the day, but he's been like the man of the week, really. He's been absolutely phenomenal. Alejandro Kirk, 3 for 4, 2 runs scored, 4 RBIs on 2 home runs. Going into the game at like a 280-something average. Now got like always over 300. The OPS has got to be creeping near that 800 mark. It was 743 going into today. And with 2 home runs, it's got to look pretty good. It's got to get close to 800, as he well-deserved for Alejandro Kirk. He has been absolutely outstanding, and the man doesn't K. I looked at his numbers today, and when I see 16 walks, and, how many games? 4. Let's say 40. I know there's a little bit more than 40, but let's say 40 games for Alejandro Kirk, right? 16 walks, 12 strikeouts. The man just doesn't strike out. Albeit his strike zone ain't very big, but when it's in the strike zone, he's either not, fouling it off or putting the ball in play, or he's reaching base more than he's K'ing. It's beautiful. Kirk is an absolute legend, and I'm loving him every single day. It's beautiful to watch. And Lourdes Gurriel Jr. didn't quite have the 5 RBI day that he did yesterday against 2 days ago, against the Angels. However, 1 for 3 in the game, did walk once, so got on base 2 of the 4 times he came to the dish. So not a bad day for Lourdes Gurriel Jr. Team overall, 12 hits in the game, albeit when Kirk has 3, Teo has 2, Bo has 2, Springer has 2. That's 9 of your 12 hits right there. And then you had Gurriel, so there's 10. So the team overall, it was top heavy, but when your big boys are swinging the bats, your best players are being your best players. And you're going to win a lot of games that way. Pitching-wise, wasn't the greatest start from Kevin Gausman. Did struggle a little bit, obviously. 5 innings pitched, allowed 6 hits and 3 runs. But did strike out 5, 1 walk, 1 home run. 3 runs over 5 innings. It's not great, but again, he gave your team a chance to win, right? And Trevor Richards, he definitely didn't. Didn't get an out. Got 3 hits, 2 runs, and walked a guy. It was not pretty for Trevor Richards, and he got the hook. And shout out to Adam Simber, man. Shout out to Adam flippin' Simber. And obviously the defense, right? Obviously the Gurriel and Kevin Biggio connection there from left field to center field, or to second base. But Adam Simber goes in there with a bases loaded, nobody out situation, and all they get is a little chopper RBI ground out of it. That is outstanding stuff. Great job from Adam Simber going out there, throwing up a clean inning of work. No hits, no walks, no runs, no Ks. The runs were obviously charged to Trevor Richards. And then the rest just shut the door. All right, let's talk about it. Jimmy Garcia, outstanding. He's been incredible lately. 1 inning, 1 walk, but got a strikeout, nothing more. Julian Merriweather, when I saw this, we're all like, oh, what? Phelps can't go? Or, anybody else? You already let Brian Bruckey get DFA'd. So this basically was your next candidate, and you're in a 1-run game in the 8th, and you're going to use this guy? He gets the first 2 guys out, and we're like, okay, that's Julian Merriweather. He's got the stuff. And then he allows 2 hits. And on an 0-2 pitch, there's a ball right down the middle. And I'm like, oh, why is that happening? But he allows 2 guys to get on, but gets out of the inning, goes in the inning, allows 2 hits, strikes out 2, and does not allow a run. And that's the key for Julian Merriweather, just not allowing any runs in those innings. And Romano, looked a little shaky in the early going of his outing. First 2 batters reach. And the Jays get a nice play. Get the out at third, the out at second. And that's massive because that's a different looking double play than you're used to seeing. Keeps guys out of scoring position, gets you 2 out, runner at first, and then he strikes out, I believe it was Gavin Sheets, and a 97-mile-an-hour fastball to end the ball game and pick up save number 16 on the year for Jordan Romano. He goes in the inning, allows a couple hits, 1 strikeout, and gets the save. Crazy number for you Jays fans. I want to let you guys know this. This today was the Jays' 15th 1-run win of the season. Do you know how many they had last year? All season, all 162? 15. They've already matched their total from last year, and you know what? That is music to my ears. Yes, we want to see some blowout games where we can chill and throw in Merriweather and be okay with throwing him out there and whatnot, and throwing out a Ryan Bruckey and being totally okay with it, right? But again, we're watching 1-run ball games, and we're pulling our hair out half the time. And for Charlie and the management, they want a little bit of a break here, albeit the schedule for the Blue Jays looking a little light in the near future here, right? You got a beaten up White Sox team, albeit a really good rotation. No Carlos Correa in that, at least in the beginning of that series against the Twins, because he's got COVID, and who knows who's vaxxed for them. Then you got the Kansas City Royals and the Detroit Tigers. You have a chance here to do some really big things, 1 step at a time. Big win tonight, all right? Game 2 of the 3-game set, though, goes tomorrow night, 7:07, first pitch there at Rogers Center. And pitching matchup looks a little tricky. Michael Kopech on the mound for the White Sox, and his stuff is absolutely filthy, having an unbelievable start to his season. And Hyun Jin Ryu on the mound for the Blue Jays, but his last 3 outings have been really good. So who knows what's going to happen tomorrow? We thought Giolito was going to do fantastic. He allowed 6 runs over 6 runs over 5 innings. So there goes that. So who knows what's going to happen tomorrow, but all I know is on paper, the pitching matchup going to be a little tricky. All right, so you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. If you enjoyed the video and enjoyed the game, smack that like button. We appreciate it. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Comment down below thoughts on the video, thoughts on the game. What'd you like? What'd you not like from today's game for the Toronto Blue Jays? The Twitter link is down below, so follow up. Send me a DM to that great stuff. The Instagram link is also down below, so follow up there if you guys have not done so already. And I will talk to you guys, Jays Edition, tomorrow night. Hyun Jin Ryu, Michael Kopech is the pitching matchup tomorrow night. 7:07 first pitch there at Rogers Center. Thank you guys so much for listening and watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and the game tonight. We'll talk to you guys then.